Good morning and welcome to another episode of On a Tuesday.
Good morning.
I got my cool rainforest cup. It's all green. And, frogs are really interesting because, they do weird shit, just like Jumbie Art.
Yes. Yes, we do.
We're back on the line with NFTerraMike. I have a few questions to ask you today, but primarily, if you missed it, go and check out the episode that we did, I guess, a couple weeks ago, where you guys had the opening party in Las Vegas. But I wanted to ask you, why Terra? Why NFTerraMike? I'm kind of curious about that. Does that have anything to do with the Terra blockchain? Is that because you're so down to earth? Like, what's going on there?
So that was a name that started back in college. Terra is just the Latin root for Earth. So when I was making my Gmail account, I just picked TerraMike, and it kind of stuck. And then, when the whole NFT thing came around, I just changed my Twitter handle to have NF in front of TerraMike for NFTs. That's kind of what it is. The Wax blockchain sort of saves the Earth, and I figured it would work well for that.
Yeah, I like it. So, recently I've been doing some shows over, Crypto Writer Network. We've been doing podcasts and things like that over there. But the Terra blockchain, right? There's been lots of NFTs and stuff that have been launching over there. So I was just kind of curious. But yeah, I wrote a book once that had Terra in the title. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, interesting.
Terra is the Latin root for Mike. Terra is the Latin root for Earth, and I like it a lot. So and I'm a fan. Very cool. If you're out there, please like and share this out, because we've got some cool stuff that we're going to be talking about. Primarily in about 30 minutes, there's a drop going live. The Jumbie Art's latest drop, which will be for 1 week only, exclusively sold for blue tokens. So you guys have this, we'll dive into that a little bit later, but you guys have this idea that you basically want to support blue. Why blue?
Well, okay, I got the invite with the promo membership to the Blue DAC staking, and there's just a lot of awesome things happening. There's a lot of money being generated, and it's looking like, okay, what do we use some of these tokens for? Like, let there be more use cases for blue instead of just, trading it for wax or whatever people are doing. And since Nefty added or Nefty blocks added, the ability to use different tokens for things instead of just wax, we figured, let's put this out there, for any of the fans out there, people in the Uplift. I think it's all this community first, and then, the rest of the world can have access to it, and maybe, that'll bring more people over, into Blue DAC and getting interested in that, by having something cool to use your tokens on.
Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. And I think it's funny, paying attention to the crypto markets and what's been happening, and some of the token prices that are of tokens that are absolutely not usable, which is kind of funny to me, right? And so I think that it's really cool that you guys are doing that. And I had that correct, right? Like, you're doing it exclusively for 1 week, and then after, whatever's left will be available with wax and other tokens too, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I like that. That's sweet, man. So I'm not really sure if Corey's going to join us or not, because Decentral is happening this weekend in Miami, and there's a ton of people over there. So I think he's planning on going and representing the Uplift and Drops and a few other projects. But I'm excited to have you here. Because we got some cool stuff to dive into. And I have some very perplexing things to ask you. Like, for example, why would Optimus Prime be facing the wrong direction? I can't wrap my head around that. He really, we'll get into that later, but he really seems to want to, look at that sign. Anyway, let's throw this up, because it's an oldie and it's a goodie, and we're not talking about art, so we don't need the voiceover. This is a really like nostalgic one for us because I think we've probably been doing this show, me and Corey, for almost just a little over a year now. I actually have to check the date when we first started, but we used to be called EOSIO Weekly for anyone who doesn't know. The Uplift didn't really exist at that time. I mean, it existed, but it didn't have a name. None of these awesome builds were here. So yeah, I want to do some gratitudes. I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if you've seen this actually, Mike. But did you go and play over here in this crazy thing that the mountain biker, the Mtaber, hooked up with the mall gallery? I'm not sure if you saw it. It's actually very close to where you guys are.
I saw the gallery. I haven't been in it yet. I have to log in and run around and see. Oh, wow, look at that.
Right. It's just insane, right? And like, so I'm just happy to have you here because like as an artist yourself, right? Like as a person who is in, the real world doing art with Jumbie and down in, Las Vegas and on location live stuff. I just want to get your take, right? Like, because we were talking about this last night. This is a 50 by 50, which means it's 50 blocks by 50 blocks. Well, not, little building blocks, the bigger blocks, but like, it's just insane to me that like, that's just one little small area, right? And there's so many other things that are happening here, right? You've got portals in here that are going to various locations, down to the Pub Gallery, down to the Rocket Gallery, a bunch of other galleries. You're actually, Mike, you guys are part of the Loop as well in Genesis. Doing some cool stuff with those guys over there. Are you guys connected at all yet?
No. I have to. There's a lot I have to do. There's a lot I have to learn. We've been just building all sorts of stuff. Like we're coring out the underneath Optimus Prime and putting stuff underneath there. None of that was really planned. My best friend, he's also an artist in his own way, and he's been building all that stuff for weeks now, and he's just kind of having fun with it. And we're probably going to take the signs down, so like you're right, so that you can see Optimus Prime and he's not covered up.
I didn't mean it by that way at all. I thought it was actually really cool.
Though.
Like I was like, what's going on here? This is really interesting. Anyway, we're going to go have a look at it now. My computer does this weird thing where okay, that's a screenshot. My computer does this weird thing where it won't let me fly if I'm in full screen mode, which is really bizarre. But yeah, I mean, definitely what you guys are building, it blew me away. I flew by there the other day, because that's what I do. I fly. I don't have time to, be walking around and collecting rewards, unlike you guys, which kind of sucks. Merry Christmas, by the way, Mike. It's coming up fast.
Right. Merry Christmas.
And this is awesome. This wasn't here a few days ago. So they put a Christmas tree up, which is sweet. They got a cool little TIE fighter here. I don't know what happens when a TIE fighter fights Optimus Prime or a Decepticon. But yeah. So what's the deal with the first ever, I think, it has to be the first ever. What's the deal with the first ever Transformers in the Uplift?
I mean, I feel like I'm an 80s baby, so I grew up with the Transformers. Transformers like taught me how to be. And it was kind of a joke. One of my friends has a song called Devastator, and I don't know, it was a good song, and I was talking to my best friend about it, and so he built Devastator first inside the plot, and we kind of put a little background song to it, and I sent it to him, and then it just became a thing. He's like, dude, there's more space. Is it cool if I build? I was like, do whatever you want. I didn't know what was going to happen. I just know when he gets creative, cool stuff pops out. So I just kind of let him rock. And he told me, he's like, oh, dude, jump into the Uplift and check out what I'm building. And it took me 2 days to get in because we were a little busy running around doing things. We had some events out here, but he didn't tell me what it was. So I log in and there's just a giant Optimus Prime, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. Let's just keep going with this. And so, yeah, I don't know what he's building underneath everything, but he sent me a screenshot yesterday. Everything's cored out underneath, and I don't know who's going to be down there, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, it blew me away. I was like, because like it went up fast, like incredibly fast. I was super surprised at just how fast it went up. So, and it's pretty epic. Now I just gotta find it because I think we're just around the corner from it. But this isn't loading very fast today. I don't know why. I should probably shout out as well that I believe season 2. The new season of Uplift Awards began today. Quite a few people hanging out, quite a few people building, quite a few people doing really interesting, groundbreaking stuff. So, all right, we should be close. There's the Bad Days blog. So yeah, and like your mate as well, just to give us a rundown on the plot, we kind of went through it in the article, but the plot was basically based on Jersey, like Jersey Shore, right? So that was the original idea. I first found it when I was writing an article over here on Niftydom. And Niftydom is a really cool project. They've done a really incredible job in here. If you haven't checked out their project, please do. They've got some really cool, like animated kind of heroes for their game. And I was over here and I was hanging out and I was flying around. They got like a cool bridge here, and I'm like a big history guy. And there's a pirate ship, and somehow they've enclosed this massive ocean that like kind of works. And so I was just flying around here, looking around, checking it out, and I turn, and there's this massive sign. And at that time, it was just this. It was just this bottom one. This is all that was here. Just this glitch strip. And if you go to the blog site, you can see, what it looked like. It was a pretty cool plot, even though it was just that. There was, some stuff down here as well. You guys had this cool, like, little boat thing where you could go up. And then I came over here the other day to do something, and I was like, wow, like, you got the power. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is like what's going on here? Like, this massive Optimus Prime that is just like built to the sky and back. And like, seriously, if that's not like ridiculously epic and well done. And for comparative sake, I wanted to start in the mall gallery because like I think what has been created over there was pretty amazing. It was pretty awesome. And one of my favorite builds of all time probably has to be the aerial view over there of the TIE Fighter. And yes. Then I came over here and I saw this Optimus Prime, and it just blew my mind. And I was just like, wow, this is by far like one of the best statues, I think, in the whole, in the whole game. And then I was like flying around and I'm like, I wonder when they're going to finish it. Like when, and then I realized that this was the back. And then I realized that this guy is up here. Right. And there's just so much going on. And I'm like, I'm just a really big fan. You got this guy towering up here.
Yeah, that's Devastator. That's all the Constructicons that come together make Devastator.
Right. And you guys have added, these, other signs, which I think are really awesome as well. And like it's pretty epic, man. I have to say, like, this is it's an amazing epic build, honestly.
I definitely appreciate it. It's funny. My best friend, he doesn't do social media. He doesn't do any of that. And like, I'm going to point him to this video because he built all of that. I have literally nothing to do with it other than just tell him like, just don't knock down the Jersey Shore sign. You can do whatever you want. And he's just been having a lot of fun with it. And, we're trying to bait Hasbro to the Wax blockchain too with Transformers. That's another thing. Hasbro should have all the Transformers on the Wax blockchain in whatever form they can do that. So this is kind of our way as like super fans for our whole life to kind of call them out and, just invite them into the community.
Right. Yeah. And like it's really well done. Like I just think like this is pretty amazing, right? Like and yeah, I think it's really cool. And I would love to see them, right? And this on the back of like, Spider-Man, the whole Spider-Man news with the Wax blockchain as well, right? Like that came out
Yeah,
the
that
day
was
before,
big.
right? Like, I'm gonna probably like I'm probably gonna try to get a ticket even I can't go. Like I'm on the other side of the world, right? Like just that NFT is gonna be huge, right? And so yeah, it's really interesting to see like plots like this come together. Um, and like yeah, I'm just kind of blown away here by everything that you guys put together. So we're definitely going to have to do another update on that article side. I'm going to have to go in and take some pictures in the next week or two and do an update of Optimus and all the other cool things that have been put up over there. Because I think it's just, especially at night, I think it just looks really epic the way that you guys have it
Yeah,
lit
with the
up. So
lights.
but yeah, the last time we had you here, actually, we talked about the Jumbie, live Porto release party that you guys had, and I think one of our team members, Javier, he went down and he joined you guys for that event. He said it was really cool. Do you want to give us an update on that? Like maybe just a little bit of a review of what's happening there.
So basically, now that let me grab my camera here. Now that it's released, we can kind of show you the piece here. Let's see.
Yeah, because we didn't see it the last time we were here. It wasn't up yet.
Yeah, I wasn't really allowed to show it then, but now,
yeah, no problem.
Now we can see it. It's kind of let's see if I can get it in the frame there, but it's gone pretty well.
So
we had a lot of attention. Like you could sort of see as it changes color, it almost looks like it's moving.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can kind of tell with it, but
not yet. We can totally tell.
So we've got the rest of our team. We've got our whole media team. There's nice. Adam Steller from the Baker Cast.
Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, we've got pretty much everything set up. We got this room mapped for VR. We're going to be doing our podcast just about everything. It's kind of like a Saturday Night Live mixed with NFTs and crypto. But we got the whole room mapped for VR. So we're going to be doing our own custom avatars, and we've got some 3D buildings being designed that we can throw ourselves in for this. And I don't know, just kind of have some fun with it.
Throw yourselves in, off of, under, whatever, man. It's VR.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So this is a new podcast that you guys are spinning up then.
Well, we've so Adam there, who was just on, he does the Baker Cast for Jerome Baker. It's a podcast he does out here in Vegas, and we're just kind of bringing it over to the crypto space. He's got some syndication on Hayes Radio out in LA, and so we do a lot of episodes talking about what's going on in the Uplift, and we're gonna just kind of talk about it, continue talking about NFTs and art, and talk to whoever wants to listen, and bring people into this space. And we're doing a community event where we've created some NFTs or with artists around Vegas that we're going to do drops that how Nifty Blocks can do split distribution now. So now we can get people involved in these big like community events and release NFTs and have everyone kind of get a little piece of it, and kind of all go together. And that's kind of the idea, is us all kind of come together and pitch in what we have, like artistic wise, and what resources we have, and kind of try to build the mothership and fill it up with rocket fuel and take off,
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty exciting. That's really cool. And like I said, like I love what you guys are doing with the Uplift, and in the Uplift, I love what you're doing, in Vegas as well. For anyone who doesn't know, you actually have a gratitude wall there that people signed when they came in for that last event. And yeah, that's super exciting to see where this takes you. I'm gonna do this again. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. And I'll tell you why I got to do it, because I've actually never seen this in the daytime. I've only seen it in the night, and so I'm thinking it must be pretty epic in the daytime too. And I have no idea why it does that. My screen's like apparently too big to like, fly. And yep, not disappointed, not at all. That's awesome. It's just so good, the detail. Like he's even got the the transformer mark like almost pegged on. This is a really good build, man. Like I'm thoroughly impressed. I love it. And just the contrast between, him standing beside this massive billboard, just, looking at it, and it's perfect. Everything about this is perfect. I love it. And yeah, even this like little, beginner point for the
right. That's where the boat ride. Yeah, that's where the boat ride is. And he just kind of built it all around it, which that's fun.
And you can walk out here and you can see, right? Like you look up and there's this, giant thing towering over you. Like I didn't mean it that way. Please, like don't tear down the signs, because I think it's really cool the way that it is actually. But yeah, let's do it. Have you ever taken the boat? Yeah, I think we should do that. Let's go here. I need to find a boat first.
We gotta start up at the top. This is where it spits you out. So you got to fly up more. Yeah, up by like his shoulder area is where it starts.
I got lost there. Let's see that. Oh yeah, up at the top of the water, up the top of the water elevator here. Yeah, it's just so good. This is like, yeah, this is maybe one of my favorite, honestly, one of my favorite builds right now in the Uplift. So kudos to that. Sorry.
Oh look, wait, we have a special guest. I was hoping she would come down.
Okay.
That's Dukesy. Hi, little bun. Can you see her?
Who is Dukesy?
The little bunny.
Oh, very cute. Is he he's your Jumbie's pet? He's not that dude, man. He's not a little bunny.
Yeah, I know. She's pretty big. She's a big bunny. I see, girl.
Wow, like she looked small, but then when you put her up against your hand, I was like, whoa. It's like
she loves pets. She loves her pets.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool. I've always wanted a rabbit, but I'm permaculturalist, so I'd probably end up eating it, unfortunately. Plug her ears, but yeah. I mean, All right, let's do it.
Oh, there we go. It kind of bumps you into things and then spits you out.
There we go.
Oh wow.
Oops. I'm a horrible boat navigator, by the way, for anyone who I lost the boat.
That's funny. It went without you.
Without me.
I guess you kind of don't even need a boat. I never really swam down it.
Right. I don't know. Good. I'm actually really bad at boating. I always lose it.
The currents go in all different directions too, so you have to kind of like force yourself through. It's not the easiest thing to get through.
Right? And you totally need a I don't know why I can't get back in. It's stuck. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. But it is a cool little race. We definitely need a, I don't know where I'm supposed to go here. Definitely need a race here at some point.
Yeah, now that he's built, I can fix that a little bit. I can fix the little nuances of it.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. I like it. I mean, it just, the fact that you're like going around Optimus Prime is like pretty crazy. actually. And you end up right here at jumbieart.com. Which is really
And none of that was planned either. Like that was a cool little exit that you just did. I might go through and film that and use it for something. It's like you come through the tunnel and you see the Jumbie Art sign. That's kind of cool. I might film that and use it for something.
Right, and then you look up and it's like, oh, what's going on there? Right, like, and got the, yeah, it's really cool. I like it. And then you've got everything in front of you, everything behind you. That's really interesting, actually. I'm kind of excited to see what you guys do. Like, I think there's going to be. My guess is you're going to have a lot more if that went up that quickly. So yeah, but of course, I need to do this because, sorry, my you know, that battery thing's gonna die. Just a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do actually is I want to we're gonna go over and we're gonna have a look at this new release. So that you guys have got two things that are being released, and they should be coming up. Well, I guess probably in about
about 3 minutes.
About 3 minutes. So let me see if I can. And you guys are gonna release these with BLU, and there's two different pieces of art. So do you wanna maybe tell us?
Oh, there's lots. There's a lot of different ones. We have the 5 elementals that are in the series, and so those have been there, but now we're able to level them up to their full level. So there's the 5 elementals. There's 5 Egyptian deities, and I believe there's 8 Hindu deities. So those are actually going to be going away. Those won't be able to be bought anymore. You can only get them in packs now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a lot of these have ended. There's 2 left. Oh, they're all gone. They just ended all now. That's interesting.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
It's a few minutes before the drop. Yeah. Yep. 3 minutes before the drop. And then so now the only way to get them is either on the auction house on Atomic Hub or through the packs. So there's a lot. There's probably over 80 NFTs in this whole collection that each one of the deities has their own like final form. So there's 18 final form NFTs, but then there's a lot. There's like 50 or 60 that you have to blend together to build to get to that final form. So it makes it harder to get those final ones. So because you can't draw them from a pack.
What's in this drop then? This drop. What does this drop contain?
So in there is 5 random NFTs from the entire collection. So, there's like for Bastet, there's 8 different cards to blend together to make her final form. She's got a lot. She's a big tapestry. She's a 9-foot tall tapestry. Okay. So she's got a lot of blends. I think Horus has like 5 or 6. So there's a lot. To get the full image, you have to get all the images and then blend them together, and you'll get that final one, which is the full unadulterated image.
All right. Well, we're going to play this a little bit. So each pack is about 2,300 BLU, and it contains 5 cards.
We try to keep it around like 11 wax, or right around there. The numbers fluctuate, so it's never exact, but that was kind of the thought of it. We made 1,111 of them available. The packs are able to be opened at 11:11 Pacific time, so it'll give people a chance to grab a couple and then mint race to open them. But for like the first few, like you're not going to want to blend those low mint numbers. So like I'm ready to buy packs when it launches too. You know, just like everyone else, I gotta get in line.
Right. Yeah. So well, I guess I should have. But yeah, you can go over to Nifty Blocks. You can go to Jumbie Art, and you can. I'll put it here. There we go. And you can see the drop there. And so yeah, I mean these packs you can buy, and again, you know we're not going to be able to open these today, right? So
In a couple hours, you will.
Right. So let's see. I'm
At
gonna
11.
do. I'm gonna do 5 packs. That's 11. It's an 11 number. That'll give me 25 NFTs total, right?
Yes.
So let's do that. And I mean, how many did you say there is total?
There's
like the total the total number of not characters, sorry, the total number of deities is
18. There's 18
Wow.
in the whole collection. Yeah. Yeah, there's Ganesh is in there, Brahma, who else? Horus, Anubis, Isis, Osiris. Who else? There's a lot. I can't even name them all. I'm sorry. I hope they're not upset with me.
No, it's all right. I might have to buy more actually. Let's see. 25. Oh, damn it. Now you see, Mike, that all right, fine, I'll buy more. This is it though, I'm done. Just because I actually
It's fun when you see some of the art that's in there. Because okay, so Jumbie creates masterpieces, and masterpieces are usually huge. Like if you
Right.
see the Mona Lisa in real life, it's huge. It is not as small as you might think it is. And so the resolution that he's working at is just so, it's just ridiculous. Like over 100,000 pixels by 100,000 pixels. Like this is ridiculous.
Right.
And so he's able to zoom way in on certain pieces and cut them up, and it's like its own masterpiece inside of another masterpiece. You know, so we were able to go into these images and just zoom way far in, still at super high resolution, and kind of cut them apart like a puzzle. And that's sort of the idea of it.
Yeah, these are pretty epic. I'm a big fan of like history and things like that, and mythology, and like I like this style of art as well. And I think these are pretty like amazing. Like this is the I think this is the Hawaiian fire goddess, if I'm not mistaken, Pele.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, she's one of my favorite.
Right, and like this one is pretty interesting too. This is the Japanese air goddess. So basically, you've got the 5 elements in here, and then you're going to add a bunch of different ones. So how many what do you call it? How many levels are there to go through to get the highest one?
Each of them are kind of different. Most of the elementals are 3, but there's other ones, like most of the Egyptians are 3, but then there's a few that are a lot more. And like Bastet is like 8 because she's a big tapestry that is cut down. She's like 9 feet or 10 feet. And then there's a couple that are 6. You know, so they'll be a little more rare, and you have to blend those. Like there's no way to pull them from a pack. So the final form, you know, you have to kind of play the game, and you have to, like, you know, get all the other cards, blend them together in order to get that final one. So we'll see. And there's only 111 of the final forms to be minted. So it's kind of like a race to get to those 111. I'm curious to see how long it takes anyone to blend just one of them, you know, because there's a lot of different cards, a lot of different, you know, iterations. So, you know, we'll see how long it takes for those to start popping up. But we're trying to keep the value in it too, you know, so that they're not just all over the place. There's only going to be 111 of the final forms of any of these. So I'm trying to get myself one.
Right. Yeah. It's a really cool concept, I think. And so we can see here the final ones, right? So there's, like you said, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these, but there's another page here. It said 18. So yeah, you can see there's like, these are the Egyptian ones: Anubis, Horus, Bastet, Isis. And these are all original works by Jumbie himself, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Some of these are like over 1,000 layers in Photoshop and over a year, 2 years of time of, not constantly working on it, but you know how it is as an artist. You do a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, and then may not touch it for a couple days, and then you come back. So, and then we had COVID in the middle of a lot of this, and so a lot of this is Jumbie's lifetime of art. He's been doing this for 20 something years, and this is like a culmination. Yeah, there's Bastet. She's got a lot of pieces to her. We zoomed way in when we created her blends, and zoomed way in and got a lot of that piece of art right there is cut up into like 8 different pieces. She's also one of my favorites. I say that a lot, and I think they're starting to listen because Isis is like, yo, you said I was your favorite last week, and I got Pele behind me like, you said I was your favorite.
Yeah, so you can see this, right? Like I guess so. Yeah, you said 1, 2, 3, about 7 maybe it looks like from here. Although mine could be wrong. And so you'll get all of these, and then you can blend them together, and then you'll get other. Is it one blend to get the final version, or multiple for this?
Yeah, it's just one. I didn't want to like bug people with it. You just collect all the cards that go in it, mix it with a Jumbie coin, hit blend, and you get the final output.
Okay, so you need
not all of them need a Jumbie coin though. Not all of them.
Okay, so you need Jumbie coins, and you need Jumbie coins, and you need the pieces for some of them anyway. Very cool. All right. Well, I like it. So I guess it's about it's 9:40 there now, Eastern Standard Time. What time is it for you, Mike?
It is 6:40.
And you're 1 hour away from Pacific Standard Time, right?
No, we're in Pacific.
Oh, okay. So 6:40, so about 4 hours. 6:40, 7:48, 49, yeah, 11. About just shy of 4 hours before you can open these packs.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that. I mean, just watching them sell right now is fun, but I can't wait to just see how it all works, see what comes out of the packs. I'm excited. Been doing this for a couple weeks now. And because, I didn't know that there's like a limit on how many NFTs you can create, how many templates you can create in a day.
Right. Yeah. I remember you sending me the message, just like, hey man, like, yeah, I just did this, and I've just been creating these templates all day. Like, it must have taken quite a while.
It took over the course of like 10 days because I would hit the limit where it was like, your upload limit has been reached. And I went into the Atomic Hub Discord and was like, hey, is there something we can do? Like, I have so many more NFTs to mint. Like, what do I do? And they were just like, there's nothing we can do. You're just going to have to wait it out. So I was setting an alarm every day for that 24-hour timer to go off. And I would come back in and mint like 10 or 12 more until it said, no, you can't mint anymore today. So it was like 10 days of just chasing after minting all these and making sure we got them all up in time.
Yeah, fair enough. So Red Panda asked, will they be hard to find in the secondary market? I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. I mean, there's going to be like 111 of each of those final forums. And I think probably, at this time, it's probably a select audience. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of this style of art. So I think when the world finds out about it, that it's not going to be very many on the secondary market. Now, it could take a few months for that to happen, but I just think it depends on how well people receive this. And I know, like, you guys are just kind of starting out with your NFT collections. So, but I'm sure that you're going to have quite a lot of users that are attracted to this from some of your real life events as well after what they saw. So I would say like, yeah, it's not going to be necessarily. I don't know. What's your take on it? Like, let's go.
I mean, you know, for the final forms, excuse me, I could see them being a little more difficult to find and being a little more expensive on the secondary market. But you know, we're releasing this many packs on Blue right now, and then once we release on, you know, whatever else, whether it's just wax or, you know, if whatever else we might choose, there's going to be more opportunities to get them, and we're keeping it around the same price too. So, you know, we're not trying to give any advantage to any one coin or any one platform or anything like that. So they'll be available. The packs will be available to buy, but I'm going to say that they're probably going to be a little more difficult to find on the secondary market, like you said, because it doesn't mine any currency. It doesn't do anything for you. It's just awesome art. And that's what brought us all to this whole blockchain in the first place here down in Vegas. What we're doing is the art. No one really knows about mining and all of that other kind of stuff that's happening on the Wax blockchain. They're just in it for the art. And so I feel like Jumbie's set is going to stand on the merits of its art, and not because it does anything in any other metaverse or any other world. It's just really cool art that, you know, when I first saw, I wanted to own, and now I can own it digitally and in real life. And, you know, so yeah, I feel like it might be a little more difficult to find on the secondary market. And if you do find it, it'll probably fetch a pretty penny. You know, we're hoping that it keeps the value, because that's why we made so little of them, because we don't want all good to just kind of be everywhere and oversaturated, you know?
Yeah, and again, right, like these are going for 1 week for Blue, but then after that, they're going to open up into Wax as well. Do you guys have a price point for Wax yet, or not yet?
It's going to be pretty much the same, like right around 11 Wax.
Okay.
Whatever that, you know, turns out to be then. And, you know, we'll probably do a nifty drop and, you know, something for everyone. I mean, we have the ability to do it. We may as well, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I like it. 11 a.m. Pacific. Yes. 11:11. I think Mike said Pacific Standard Time is what time you'll be able to actually open the packs. So, PST. Yes. Well, I don't know. I think it's PST. It's PST,
yes.
TC.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Daylight saving time confuses me. I can't remember if it's PST, if it's PDST, or if it's PSTD, or I don't know. There's too many S's and D's and P's. There was a really bad joke in there, by the way. But don't listen to me. So yeah, like I'm excited, man. I remember, like, you know, I kind of the first time I met you, I went in here and I found it. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit annoyed, Mike. Here's what's happened. I went in there and I bought 2 of each. I picked up 2 of each because I like them. I like the art, right? And I thought, okay, I'm going to grab 2 of each. I'm going to grab 2 of each of these 5 that are out there on the Wax blockchain that are released. And I went through and I got, like, you know, 2 of the first one, 2 of the second one, 2 of the third one, all the way like to the 4th one. And then I went to get the 5th one, and there was no RAM in the account. And I was like, and then I had to wait, and I was like, oh no, I gotta wait. And I was like a little bit stressed out. But this is a good thing. And I'll tell you why, because like rarely do I get stressed out. Usually I just wake up in the morning. But I was like, oh man, like I really want to get that low mint of these, like, right? So like I think, like you said, there's gonna be a lot of people who are collectors who just, you know, really enjoy and appreciate these NFTs. And I have a feeling that, like, you know, when you know, some serious, you know, projects, IP projects start coming into Wax, that a lot of these foundational starter projects that are doing art or doing games or doing NFTs, especially artists, though, I think they're going to see kind of a newfound audience of people who are interested in their stuff, right? Like we've got people who are going to come in because of Spider-Man, like you said. You guys are trying to bring in, the Transformers IP and stuff like that, like trying to get them, to encourage them. I know like Anders is doing the same thing. I know a company that I'm working with is doing the same thing. Like there's just tons of interest to try to bring some of these major corporations, these major IPs into the Wax blockchain. And I think when that happens, some of these smaller projects, some of these smaller artists, some of these smaller, businesses, you're just going to see a lot of interest in their NFTs. And I really hope that that's what happens, because like, it's not always the most expensive wallet, the biggest brand name that's the best, right? And like you said, it took like Jumbie a really long time to layer these together. And so I'm really excited to see when people actually find out about this art, kind of what happens, right? Because there's a real world presence there as well. So that's really cool. So yeah. Red Panda, yes, if you go to the link that I just put here above, you can buy the packs. You just can't open them yet, right? So, but yeah, like I think it's going to be really cool, and I like the fact that like you guys are keeping it to 1 or 2 blends per thing, because there's a few other projects that I've kind of went into, and to like go through the 5 or the 6 levels. Like I know a lot of people like it, but like for me, I'm a little bit busy and it's a little bit difficult, right? To get them all and then go and blend them all, and then my wallet becomes a mess. And it's like, right. So I actually appreciate the fact that you're going art over. I don't know what the name of what I'm trying to look for, the word I'm trying to look for is, but I appreciate the fact that you're going like art over, like having to blend through this like 100 times just to get the end product, right? So
right. We didn't want to blend just for blending's sake, because like you said, it makes your wallet kind of a mess. I've done this before. We have a crypto crops game that we were creating like months and months and months ago, but the technology wasn't there where we needed it yet. And so we just picked it back up, and it has a lot of blends, like going from level 1 to 2, you need this item and that item and this item, and you put it all together. And it does, even as the person who created the blends, I go in there and I'm like, this is too much. Like, I don't even want to do this, So,
right.
I tried to take that lesson into this and keep the blending. You want it to be more collecting, not about blending. So it's like once you collect, then you can go and just do the one blend and boom, you get your final output. So I wanted to kind of make it more of an adventure to collect it as opposed to just blending. And we're going to be putting, like, I call it like the loot goblin, where I take a free drop, like a free drop link, run it through tiny URL, and then just drop it in Twitter somewhere, and whoever gets it, gets it. There's a couple signs like that up, like underneath Optimus Prime. There's a couple where there's tiny URLs that go to free Jumbie coins, and I don't even know what we put up there. There's free stuff. You just got to find the sign in the plot and go to the link. So we're going to keep doing that too, to kind of incentivize people to like run around and have fun, looking at the new stuff that's being built. We're going to stick a sign somewhere that's got a tiny URL on it, and that's going to lead to a free NFT. So, we're kind of trying to have some fun with it.
Right. And like, I think that's the way that you have to do it, to be honest. If you're going to be in the metaverse, if you're going to be looking at art, like, I mean, especially with the Uplift world, because we are a play to, earn metaverse where people will run around, and you need to be able to incentivize users, keep things fresh, keep things interesting. And I mean, I just think it's going to be really cool to see what you guys come out with. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to go back in there. Oh, that's weird. I'm going to go back in there because we didn't put up any gratitudes. So we'll do that.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I was going to say, no gratitudes for you. You're done. Yeah, fair enough. We'll put up a few gratitudes. So, hey, I kind of want to ask you though, while I do this, while I figure out, because I got to fly somewhere. But must have been a really interesting experience to see gratitudes go up in real life, in the portal opening event that you guys held. I mean, that people basically, maybe you can give us a bit of an outline, like how that went down, right? Because people came in, you guys gave them a marker, and like what happened?
So yeah, we gave them, as people came in, if they didn't have a Wax Cloud account, we were instructing them to get a Wax Cloud account, and we'd give them like a little raffle ticket, and that was for any kind of giveaways and anything like that. But really what it did, especially for our team, was instill that feeling of gratitude for all of us, and like to wake up every day and to think about what you're thankful for and kind of let that guide your day. We have a really awesome team, and you know, it's brought together by the gratitude. Like, we're all grateful for each other. You know, like, none of us can do this on our own. Jumbie can't do it on his own. I can't do it on my own. And we're really grateful to have a community and each other. And so when I explain, you know, what gratitude in the Uplift is to people who don't know what any of this is, it's a life lesson. Like, it's not just in the game, it's not just in the Uplift, but that feeling of like gratitude for whatever it is that you're grateful for, is like resonating through our whole squad, you know. And so, like, when I tell the stories about how this started, you know, people put what they're grateful for in a little sign. And so our sign, I gotta get it. I'll get a picture of it for you. I tried to make it look like a wooden sign from the game. And, you know, it's rudimentary. It looks like a kid made it, because I kind of am like a giant kid stuck in this body. But that was sort of the point of it, was to keep it, you know, to keep it like that. But it was cool to teach people that, you know, in the Uplift, gratitude is almost like a form of currency. And we're taking that into like the real world. And our team is more grateful. People we work with, you know, they're like, I bow a lot, like, to say thank you. It's just a thing. I don't know why I do it. It's just a thing. But now I'm starting to see like other people will kind of thank you and kind of bow back, and like, you know, so, and that all started from just asking people, what, you know, what are you grateful for? What is it, you know, just anything come off the top of your head. What are you grateful for right now in this moment? And you'd be surprised how that, you know, changes people and the thoughts that they have, because they're not expecting that question, you know. And it's a pretty profound question.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading this article today with some of my students, and we were talking about, you know, how you know, your interactions with other people actually shapes the way that you think, actually shapes the way that you do things, actually, like, will, you know, create this sense of, you know, regret, or this sense of, you know, wanton, potentially even just through a text message from somebody on the other side of the world, right? And so I think, like, just the simple act of like being grateful for something, or telling other people what you're grateful for, does definitely have the potential to, you know, empower and change, you know, not only your life for actually thinking about it, but other people's lives around you as well. So yeah, let's see. Well, you know what? I'm gonna put you. We're gonna do this somewhere else today. This is my like special kind of gratitude place, and I really like what you guys have done with the Uplift. I really like what you guys are doing. So I'm gonna we're gonna put you up here, Mike. This is very
Oh, wow.
very special place that oops, I use sometimes. I like the other one too. You know, lots of friends over there. But what are you grateful for today, Mike? Just because of that story, I'd like to put you here.
Wow. What am I grateful for today? There's so many things. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I have to help people.
Oh, there we go. Cool. Well, I'm grateful for opportunity to connect with world changers like yourself and Jumbie. And yeah, everything that you guys are doing is pretty spectacular, I think. And the fact that, you're kind of embracing or have been embracing a lot of what we are embracing in this, metaverse, in your real lives as well. Down there in your own kind of, real world 3D physical space that we're putting in portals. You guys are putting in portals. We're putting up gratitude walls. You guys are putting up gratitude walls. You guys are laying art on top of each other. There's people in the Uplift that, just keep laying things on top and on top of each other. I mean, I think just like what you guys are doing and what we're doing here, and it really resonates a lot with one another. And they're coming from two different places. But I think a lot of times they're, aiming to, achieve the same objective, just make the world a better place and make people understand their talents and make people find and, be able to connect and interact with others who are in the same mindset and doing, similar things. Just getting people out of that mind space where, you have to go and do a 9-to-5 job every day and, basically wait until, life is over before you begin to live, and instead, right, tap people into what's important. Doesn't have to be the same for everyone, right? But it's just really grateful to have met you, Mike.
I appreciate that. I'm happy to be here, happy to be talking to everyone. And, in real life, I talk about this so much that I have to tell people, I don't work for the Uplift. I don't work for the blockchain. It may sound like I do, but I don't. It's something that I'm super passionate about, and that I can't even stop that. I'm that annoying person at parties who's talking about this stuff kind of incessantly, but there's always one or two people who really get something out of it, and they thank me later, and they're like, wow, thank you for going on a diatribe about the Wax blockchain and what you're doing in the Uplift and everything, because, I'm converting. I call them Wax converts. I'm bringing people from other blockchains and I show them what Wax can do and what we're doing here. And they're like, wait, I want to do that, so that passion kind of flies out of me. And I'm grateful to have that and to be able to share it with people.
Yeah. And I'm kind of the same way, right? People are going to know what Wax is eventually. And I hope that they, figure it out from people who are here now and are trying to get them in for the right reasons rather than FOMO them in later when, all of these big IPs, actually start utilizing the blockchain as it was intended for what it was intended. So, yeah, I'm pretty stoked, and this is the other thing too, when you guys get this new podcast, up and running, I totally, we're gonna have to get back on the show and talk about it and see, what you guys are doing. This VR thing sounds just amazing. It sounds really cool. So I'm super excited to see what you come up with, and please don't hesitate to drop us a line over in the Uplift channels so that people know where to find you, because I know how much you guys do actually talk about it and resonate with the vision and the gratitudes and stuff like that. And, I can't wait for the day that I can walk around a corner, maybe on the backside of Optimus Prime and see a picture install of the real live gratitude monument that's in Jumbie's down there where you guys are. And if you're not going to do it, I'll do it. I'll put it up somewhere in Uplift if you guys aren't going to do it, because I think that's just it's got to be up there, right?
There's a big frame above him. Maybe we can put it in there.
Yeah,
because there's a light frame above him that would probably fit perfectly inside there. I think it's 16 wide. I gotta check, but that would be a perfect spot for it. Let's do that.
Yeah, that would be awesome for sure. That would be again another first from the Jumbie Art team, right? I don't think anyone's ever done it before. The first gratitude monument from the real world transposed into the Uplift, right? Like that's very, very, very close.
On the back of Optimus Prime. It's got to be done. Yeah, got to do it now. I'm going to work on that today. That's happening.
That's awesome. That's great. Yeah. So right. Yeah. And I'm here with Mr. Adamus. All these games I want to make it so that generation has opportunities to get paid to play, not the old pay to play only. And I think that's the thing with artists, with gamers. We have the chance and the opportunity to actually pay people for what they do, as opposed to pay corporations for what other people do. And I think that's what the movement, a lot of it for me, a lot of what Wax and Alter and some of these other blockchains, I'm not a big fan of Ethereum because of the fees, but like even Engine, like a lot of these projects that are working towards this kind of new model, and I think it's going to be really important. Mecca Leka Hi, Mecca Hi and Ho. Have you been into the pickle juice again, Morton? I'm not really sure what's going on there. Does that make sense to you there, Mike?
Yeah, that does. That's from Pee-wee's Playhouse. That the wizard thing in the box that would pop out, the dude's head in the box. I don't know. It's been a long time, but that's where I remember that from.
That's awesome. Morton's like a walking thesaurus of culture. But love it. That's great. Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you get off and do your day. Is there anything else that you'd like to shout out, Mike? Again, obviously, like thanks for joining us. I always have a great time, when you show up, and you're more than welcome to come back and keep us posted. Yeah, it's always great to fly around the plot and see what you guys have developed, see what's going on. It was great to have that inside look of the actual, real life fear and loathing, I guess, fear and loathing portal. But yeah, is there anything else you want to shout out before we let you go?
I mean, I just want to say thank you to everyone who jumped in on the drop and jumped in on the show and, listened to us kind of talk about stuff for the last hour. And, I definitely appreciate you giving us the opportunity to just, display the work. This is something that's really important to me and to everyone on the team. And it's cool that, you enjoy showing it to your audience and getting people to see it. And I appreciate everything, man, everything you guys do every day. And I want to just continue to push the ball up the hill and tell people about, what's going on and just keep educating people on NFTs and Uplift and everything. And, I appreciate everything that you guys have done.
Yeah, likewise. And we'll see you guys, really soon back on the show. Because, I think, you guys are soon. You're going to be running after the ball down the hill. That's how awesome you guys are.
I appreciate that. That's a great, you know what? That's a great way to, that's awesome. I'm going to use that. Thank you for that one.
No problem. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I think Corey is going to be absent for a couple of days because he's at the conference in Miami. But excited for tomorrow. I've got Michael O'Sullivan from Bywire, which is a news media decentralized channel, coming on the show to talk for Media Moguls. Have a great day, and we'll catch you guys all later. And thanks once again, NFTerraMike.